Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. My name is Jim Cagnina. I am Senior Market Analyst, and I am joined by our Senior Economist, Tracy Shuchart, aka Shy Girl. Shy, how are you?
I am good. We have some news out as of, it was about 15, 20 minutes ago that came across the wires. It says that the White House says the July 9th trade deadline could be extended, to everybody's shock except for mine. So I guess the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt said that Trump could extend the deadline that the administration has set to arrive at more trade deals. She said the deadline's not critical, and the president reserves the right to move it. So all of that worry, all of that for 3 months trying to get trade deals, and we don't really have anything solid except for with the UK, and it seems that date is now arbitrary. So.
Oh my God, the uncertainty continues.
Right. We've talked about this. I'm like, they're just going to kick the can. They're just going to kick the can. I don't know. Perhaps markets were already expecting this, and that's why we've been like, straight up for the last 3 months.
Well, let's get right into some hot commodities. Before we do though, shout out to Pax. Pax is in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Let's talk about crude oil though. Crude oil
Pax!
yeah, crude oil it's stuck at 65 a handle. What's going on?
Right. So, well, another news dropper that just came out at the same time about the trade deadline is Trump has no imminent plans to fill the SPR after that was kind of one of his campaign promises, since it is kind of a national security issue, but not surprising since he wants lower oil prices. If we put it in the SPR, we can't sell it. It's taking it off the market. And so I'm not surprised that he kicked that down. It's just interesting because that was one of the things he ran on. And Chris Wright and he both said earlier back in March that this was one of the things that they were absolutely going to focus on. So that is off the table for right now. As far as, well, let's start with intraday. Kind of overnight, we had some kind of confusing things that kind of went on, right? We heard on Wednesday, we heard those headlines where Trump basically said China can buy Iranian oil now, and that's fine. Markets didn't really like that, kind of pulled back, even though they've already been buying from Iran. Literally nothing would have changed, but still, the market didn't, I guess the market didn't know that. I did post about it, but so we did see a pullback, and then overnight, what happened is because he's at NATO still in the Netherlands, he said that he kind of veered a little bit and said that maximum pressure on Iran will continue, and that is part of that was to target Tehran's petrodollars, meaning take money, try to hurt them by not having them had a source of income. So we rallied on that headline over $1, and then we kind of pulled back afterwards. After he then said that he is meeting with Iran next week. I suppose it means trying to work out some sort of a peace deal. So we had a wild ride in crude oil on the overnight, but still, market is still up today and just kind of grinding higher during the U.S. session today.
Going back to the SPR really quickly, I just wanted to ask you, isn't the idea though to try to fill it when prices are low, or do I have the mechanism wrong?
Well, yes. Yes, that is correct. So, buying it this area would not be a bad deal by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, I think someone's got to join our live stream to learn how to trade. In the meantime, here's the chart. It's daily chart. This huge excitement candle. A couple of small body candles though, back to back, with kind of looks like the wicks are bigger on the top than they are on the bottom. But end of the day, we're still at 65 spot 29 right now in the front month of crude. Stochastics are nicely genting, sloping downward intraday, and you could see the volatility in this chart and the movement of this chart. And you could just kind of see when these news events happened. The London initial balance was a decent sell-off, right? Even though we ended up having the point of control up at the top of it, it was a decent sell-off, and it continued for a long period of time. And then, boom, we had a pretty nice sustained rally for a long, long period of time. And then we came all the way back down. So there was a lot of ups. This is for swing trades and for longer-term position trades. There's a lot of opportunity here because we had a lot of movement. And we broke through a lot of the Menthor Q JAX levels. Right now, we're right at that JAX 4 level. Now, JAX 2 right now, this is a really key area of interest for me, 65.50 on an intraday or a short time frame idea, because you have that JAX 2, you have that point of control also there for the volume point of control, even though the profile is a little wacky. And then you have the session VWAP, all three things converging right there. So that's probably a 50% retracement if I drew the fib line low to high as well. So a lot of areas of interest right there at 65.50. That might be sticky going forward. Shai, let's move over to the metal complexes. I got to pull up a platinum chart because it is off the hook.
Rip roaring on platinum. We did have a roll, so I will say that. Platinum did roll to V, so we did have a roll, but there was not that much of a contract gap. It was just a few bucks. So interesting. So, again, this market is all about fundamentals. We have, supply concerns. The World Platinum Council forecasting a third year of undersupply of almost 500,000 ounces. We also have this as kind of a precious metal store of value. We often find that when gold prices get extremely elevated compared to platinum prices, you do see some demand shift over to platinum, and we are currently seeing that, particularly in China, not only for jewelry but also for coins and bars. And so you've got kind of a supply concern. You still have a lot of industrial demand going on, and now we're seeing an added kind of surge in retail demand as well.
Wow. I mean, I have a daily chart up right now, and the October contract already has 60,000 contracts traded, which is a pretty decent volume day in this market, for sure. So there's a lot of activity. The moving averages are all sloping upward pretty steadily. We have a moving average stochastics crossover from a couple days ago. That's in play. We have separation between the two lines there. This is still super bullish. There's no wicks really. There's a tiny baby wick at the bottom of today's candle and a tiny baby wick at the top. Intraday, this was a little less dramatic than the crude oil market, but we have a couple waves and a couple dips, but we kind of lost VWAP in the rearview mirror. I don't know, about an hour or so, not even half hour or so, right after the initial balance, the U.S. initial balance was over. We still have the point of control, but interestingly enough, we have this little interesting peak volume node right here, which is kind of exciting at 1437, and we've only been trading up there for about an hour and 15 minutes. So there's a lot of price happiness up here right now. We'll see if we get any kind of retracement back on the downside. There's no real Menthor Q numbers in play right now. Let's pivot over to silver. What's going on in silver, Shai?
So silver market, same thing. Again, we've been talking about this a lot. This is, also, aside from being an industrial metal, is also obviously a precious metal, and also a monetary metal. We used to have money backed by silver. And so we're seeing a lot of demand in the silver market. The weakness in the dollar is also helping this market, actually helping all of the metals markets. Just overall weakness in the dollar. We've got, we've got safe haven demand, we've got industrial demand, and market sentiment right now is just overall very positive.
Yeah, I mean, we're driving back up to this. We have a high close right here on the 17th of June. We're almost wick to it, not quite. So I have that in my radar screen, 37 spot 145 on the upside. It does look pretty strong here. This is really kind of range bound, actually. I know it's a big range, but this is March highs, that rectangle at the bottom here. And that's approximately 35 spot 49. So we've been wavy here, but that was after two huge breakouts in a row back in early June and early June. So right now it's kind of taking a little bit of a pause, but it looks like it's poised to break up. And look at that stochastics at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to open this up because this is beautiful. We have that crossover that just happened right in that mid 55 level here on the stochastics. That's also a bullish signal, possibly. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if we get some more movement on the upside. But I am kind of bullish here. Intraday, we had some pretty decent trading. It had a weird spike though here at the after the London initial balance that tested that call resistance level at $37 even. Didn't last really long. An hour later, we just kind of sold off again. Ended up higher at this competing point of control, which is where we're at right now at 36.88. Right above Jacks 3, 4, 2, and 1. So this has been, again, a little bit of a bullish idea here, and I think it's going to continue going forward. Tracy, we got to sneak in really quickly. I know time's almost up, but we got to sneak in Dr. Copper because it's on the move big time too.
Dr. Copper is on the move. We've got, primarily, we've got a super supply squeeze outside of the United States, particularly in London and at the LME, because traders, we've got a lot of anticipation of higher tariffs. So the U.S. supplies are moving to the U.S. We've got a supply squeeze outside of the United States in London. Additionally, Chinese smelters are ramping up exports to cover their short positions on the LME, and that's putting pressure on Chinese domestic inventories. And so that's adding to global market volatility as well. Again, it has been mentioned that when we had steel and aluminum tariffs put on, that copper could be next. And they said they were going to take, 6 months to think about how they were going to go about doing that. Time is a ticking. So there's a lot of anticipatory moves on that, as well as overall demand is, much higher than, or is growing much faster than supply is coming to the market.
So really quickly, how do they shore up the inventory at LME?
What do you mean? Like, how do they ship it?
Okay, so it's a physical product that's got to get there.
They're under.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's physically traded. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting mechanism we should discuss someday. But that's great.
Yeah, they have all their metals that are traded at LME warehoused. So.
Got it. All right. Well, that is today's. We packed a lot in a little bit of time, Shy, but that is today's hot commodities report.
All right, guys. I will see you in the chat, and let's watch the order flow, guys.
Absolutely, folks. We are ready. Trade the close. OrderFlow Labs dynamic duo is with us today. Nick for a tick and Stowe. How you guys doing?
What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
I'm not sure which one's Batman and which one's Robin. I'm not going to go there, but
I could be Robin. Robin was cool.
Yeah.
Robin's fine. There's nothing wrong with being Robin.
I mean,
man. So interesting day today. You got anybody in a trade yet?
I am actually I'm short for some reason. No, not for some reason. There was some logic to it. I hate meandering around at all-time high and trying to be the first idiot to jump in short to even catch a scalp rotation down. It's a very difficult trade, especially with the low volume that we've kind of seen, the pace of the tape being super slow the last few sessions in the middle of summer, or I guess in the early parts of summer still. So yeah, so far so good. I'm not necessarily trying to call a top here, but I'm looking for this counter rotation back inside the 80s at the very least.
Yeah, it looks good. I tried to scalp along up here, but it looks like I'm getting shut down. I like this. I like when a exhaustive peak like this gets revisited, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here. If this bid's going to be supportive or not. But currently Nick is winning. There's a
Well,
lot of there's a
it
lot of volume on the book though.
it's a tricky end of day when you have, you're up at the highs and you have a super low volume day. I mean, we have 680,000 only traded in the front month in the E-mini S&P. That's like super low volume, and
Yeah.
so it makes it even a little bit trickier.
Jim, I wanted to get to something from the hot commodities real fast though. What did Tracy say that committee was? We're like the Society of Aluminum. What was it?
Oh yeah, I know. We got to ask her. She'll put it in the chat. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Dude, so there's committee. How do you? This is what I want to know. How do I get a weird gig like that that is completely insane? It sounds made up, but is in fact real. I need to be on some sort of metal or ag committee. We got to figure that out, Jim.
we could make up our own. I mean, we could decide, hey, we're going to be the Institute of Broccoli,
All right,
and that's it. It's us three, and we'll have meetings and go to conferences. It'll be fun.
Nick, do you want to be on the Broccoli Institute? It could
I
be
mean,
cool.
I'm absolutely for it. Yeah, I'm all about, yeah. I'm right there with you. Put me on a weird committee, something that makes absolutely no sense, but apparently pays you well enough to dedicate a few hours of your time, and I'll take that.
That's what I need in my
Did,
40s. More committees. That's what I need.
did you see XYZ's comment in the chat?
Mm-mm.
It's not the Illuminati, but it's the Illuminati.
That's funny.
Oh, that's brutal, brutal dad joke, XY. Very nice. Very nicely done.
Oh,
Oh, that's
broccoli mafia. We got it. We're on to something, guys.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
well, good luck, guys. I'm gonna pop over in the chat and good trading. We'll be rooting for you.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks, brother.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. This so far just seems like we're continuing to kind of bounce off whatever cran line you could probably draw from the start of the day. And so far that's kind of holding true.
Yeah, it's been grind city.
But
Um,
we'll sit in this.
you and I both might sit here in both of these trades for the rest of the day and not have anything happen. I'm wondering if I should have taken 5 points profits.
I mean, I've been sitting in this trade since the green room. So
Yep.
coming
Yep.
on a good 20, 25 plus minutes. And I think the most this is rotated is about 4 points. So yeah.
Yeah, XY, what's the what's the 1 minute ATR on a 10 candle look back right now? Is it 3 points? NQ?
It's just not great.
Are you in an ES short? I gotta pull that
This
up.
is an ES short.
No, it's ES is up to right now. I haven't looked in a second. Oh
I mean,
my.
it looks very similar to NQ, just not
Yeah.
quite as vertical with just reckless abandon that the NQ.
Holy smokes. We almost got to 6,200. This is
Yeah.
hilarious.
I mean,
All right.
that's kind of why I'm not optimistic. I could just see us tagging that for no good reason outside of just more buying. But it really just, I mean, since the show on Sunday, it it has just been close your eyes and buy and or basically just buy in June and come back in September apparently.
What? Let me look at that. Nah, I'll pull that up. Oh, I know why. Yeah. Sorry. I'm screwing up my position tracker. 1 second.
Still getting this move down in ES.
Yeah, it's going great.
Tag 88 and kind of break this little death by grind up trend we've been in all afternoon.
Let me see. You're going to get your fill. Look at that. Nice.
Let's see.
Good short, Nick.
All
My
right.
word.
Calling tops apparently works every once in a while. Probably after about 7 paper cuts if you were trying to short anytime
Nice trade,
today.
buddy.
So, all right, 1 off there. Got 2 left. Let's see if we want to come down and retest 83 again.
This is why.
No, it is not. Calling tops in June and July usually is a fool's errand. I've learned from my mistakes last summer of trying to do that as we were grinding up to 13 straight days of all-time highs. But this one, just taking the stab at it. I hadn't really taken a trade since it was still inside IB. We hadn't even made
Mm.
the move back above kind of the 550s. I caught that initial short kind of off the bell and then was very happy. So didn't take another trade.
Let's see if ES can get back above this. I kind of see what that did. Maybe they're saving 5,200 for tomorrow, though. Maybe they're like, well, Friday.
That sounds like a Friday in June.
Sounds like a Friday in June. So I don't know. Maybe the market makers were like, hold on a second. We can't have 6,200 on a Thursday. Okay. I think I fixed it. Let's see. Yep.
Boom.
Cool. All right, we're back. Good to go. Did not want to actually buy that, but position tracker works. Okay, big boy's waking up. Oh, how's chat doing? Did chat survive this grind up day? Tell me true.
Yeah, how's
Icon.
everyone handled the last, this entire week? Seems like if you have ill-timed shorts, you were punished. $21 barely.
Okay, here we go. 55, 65. Trying to see if this is gonna.
Yeah, all-time high trading is definitely boring. It's definitely difficult to kind of trade around because you're kind of waiting for some of those dips to come in if you're trying to get long, and sometimes it's days like this when there really don't. If you're trading ES, there really wasn't one. A whopping 10-point initial balance, basically.
Ah, there we go. Sorry, Nick. I didn't have any music on. It was making me feel strange. I got some music going now.
I give you all credit for being able to do that and still talk and articulate what's happening. I can't.
Well, I mean, articulate or not, that is up to the. I don't know if I'm actually doing that.
It's fair.
It's just what we're pretending to do.
Yeah, I think we've done a great job of pretending that we know what we're saying sometimes. And then default to big cat.
Maybe I
We
will.
don't know the answer.
Oh man, what was the thing that somebody asked me in XY the other day, and we had to tell, like, we basically had to tell Big Cat's story.
Yeah.
What was it, Arval?
Yeah, it was basically that, and I had to chime in the chat, being like, they're slowly starting to realize that the peanut gallery of the three of us really don't know as much as we may have alluded to.
Leo, are you in here, bud? Did you hear us? Did you hear me and XY butcher the definition of how to use Arval in your trading?
That was great.
I am going to take one more shot at this.
Yeah, they kind of stepped right back in there. At least on ES.
ES's pullback was a lot nicer than NQ's. NQ's didn't get quite low enough. I would like to have seen this node tag down here, 47. But the book did some book flipperino, so we'll see. Still held that single print too that has formed. Is forming.
Don't love this rebid. That's probably going to go back to 93s. Khan says they filled the singles on NQ.
I disagree.
Yeah, I was like, it looks like it needs a little more. Unless I'm crazy.
These are developing singles though, so they're not confirmed yet. And there are still singles. There are a few singles down there, Con, from 632, 635 ish. Those are confirmed. So it's just a wee bit, just a touch of singles. Oh boy, this is slow. My word, Nick, this is gonna be a long one waiting this trade out.
I'm super excited about it. It's been a long week. I think this is. I mean, you've been on all doing your segment too in the mornings, and then XY and I. Now this is my third session of the week. It seems like all three of the afternoons. Granted, we did have a nice move yesterday. Um, I've just been just grind slow
Yeah,
and hope that eventually. I mean, they made us wait. I feel like every time until halfway through the end period before anything happened,
right.
if anything happened.
Hmm.
In the event of complete Armageddon here this afternoon, I'm going to put my runner cover at initial balance high on ES. That would feel like Armageddon, I guess, during this grind up.
Dude, you might be getting it. I don't know.
We'll see. I could see it, like you said. If they do, they save the march up to 6,200 for tomorrow, or maybe our lovely friends in the UK and Europe decide just to send it.
That actually, yeah, that's a valid point. And they're probably gonna
They they
just
did
do
it
it in
last they did it
Globex.
last night, and I just
Yeah.
kind of started laughing when I came to my desk. I'm like, this is going to be that summer, isn't it?
Hmm. Let me think.
I mean, you need 52s to hold basically. Where's your set?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of this. No good. I gotta add that. Man, all my stuff got messed up. I lost a ton of indicators again. Let me get back to it. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna mess around with my chart. This is something that let me here I can. Oh, nice with the split screen. You guys don't have to see me
Screwing around.
screwing around. That's good. All right, cool. We'll get that. And then I got oops. There we go. Nice. Okay. Do you guys care about volume nodes from current session or prior ones? Yes, I care about volume nodes. How about you, Nick? Do you care about volume nodes?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to have eyeballs on the session as well as maybe the weekly volume profile and kind of identify some of those LVNs that are sitting there. I think a long time frame chart with one usually is a good idea, especially if you
Mm-hmm.
trade on such a short time frame like we do.
Yeah.
It's still, I think, a good idea to keep you honest, know where the previous week's value area high, value area lows are. But teach their own.
Okay. We're putting the single prints indicator on there. All right, there we go. So yeah, mine are still there. I was just double checking, but I still have two sets. These ones at 55 to 53 to 55, they just they're still being confirmed, I think. So at
2 minutes.
yeah, in 2 minutes those will be good.
This, I mean, I have been in this trade
Oh
for
wait, no, those are confirmed. Oh my goodness. That's how long it's been. That's how slow prices moved? Yeah.
yes,
Okay, cool.
I've been in this trade for 40 minutes, and it still may stop me out of it.
Oh, that's what was going on. Dude, I'm all over the place. I had the wrong account on. Yeah, here's my account. Here's my account from today. Okay. Yeah, there's my executions. How did that happen? All right. All over the place, Nick.
I feel you. I made the mistake this morning on communicating with a car dealer because I'm in the market for an SUV for my wife's car. And yeah, I have had the amount of messages, texts, emails, phone calls, voicemails in the last 2 hours is kind of insane. Guys coming in
Oh,
a little
yeah.
hot. Guess
Yep.
it's end of month.
Yes. Yes, they do. Um, Daily TPO does not. What's the difference between oh, okay. So you're talking about wait, a daily TPO is like the full session, so like including Globex? I don't understand, Con. Explain how you could have two different TPO charts. I don't know that much about TPO stuff, so I'm honestly just asking.
I don't love this.
I still think you look okay over there.
I know. I just am not loving this fact that NQ just refuses to die, and now we're coming back to 93s.
Yeah, it's true.
I tighten up the stuff. If we make a new high of the day, I don't want to be in this because we're probably going to go March to 6,200 anyway.
Oh, okay. Hey, chill guy, what's up? All right, fair enough, Con. I've only ever looked at just the RTH TPOs, but then also I don't really look at them at all because I have these uh, cheat codes that just
I didn't
show
know
me
you
the
could.
things that I want to see. So
Well, I guess I knew you could make a TPO with the extended trading hours, but I guess they don't. Do you still use the same principle of like 30-minute periods and it goes all night?
yeah, I don't know.
Because the volume, I don't know. I guess that's where it's just like the volume in some of those portions of the evening can be so slow and low. I don't know. If it works, let it ride.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Chill guy says, yeah, same idea. Just split it into 30-minute blocks. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Cool. Of course, it's the same. Globex session TPO shows the overnight high and low plus Globex open. All right.
I mean, I guess it'd be
Yeah,
no different than just creating a volume profile of the overnight session.
yeah, yeah. At that point, are you less concerned about the period increments themselves, and you're just looking at it's more just like a volume profile?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
This
know
is
what
why
a
I
lot
don't
of this
trade
stuff means,
Globex.
dude.
As I've said numerous times on this show, I am net red for my entire career of trading between the hours of the uh, Globex Open and the New York Open.
I had a hot couple months with that Asia session. That
You
was
did.
cool. I did. I was but
Like
then
eating
that
dinner and seeing the amount of points Stowe's throwing up during Asia. I'm like, what am I doing with my life right now? How did you capture that many points?
yeah, and then it dried up as soon as it was there. So
Yeah.
that was the
But
briefest setup that I've ever had.
you did it in that like April volatility where Globex was moving.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it may have been more, I mean, some of the volume things may have been more valuable at times in the overnight than they were with the insane volatility that I think we were seeing during RTH. So it might have actually been not the worst time to do that.
Yeah.
And you took full advantage.
Yes, yes, I did.
Hey, Pax.
Hey Pax. What's up, brother?
Very sad we didn't peek inside of 85s.
I know PAX does not pay a single mine to Globex, so he would not participate in your full session TPO chart as you refer to it. If it didn't happen in Chicago, it didn't happen.
That's kind of how I feel. But, I know a lot of people, especially our friends overseas, that hey, that's when they make a good amount of their money. So to each their own. I just oversize. I get impatient. I'm like trying to create volatility out of thin air in the overnight. So it's just not
Yeah.
for me.
I would like the opportunity to trade the London session, like to trade it for like a couple months and get actual reps trading it. I'm never going to have that unless I like drastically change my life in some way, because 3 a.m. is just not physically possible. It's like it's too late and too early at the same time. It's just an impossible time to exist.
I think I could probably do London, just like you were saying. Like there's usually one or two good moves. It moves, I think, a little bit more than Asia, unless there's some sort of headline coming out. But yeah, I like to sit on my couch and hopefully not look at the markets unless I'm getting Discord messages from friends saying, like, look what's happening. Otherwise, I try to stay away.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, it's move to London. But yeah, I
But
don't know. I would just like to experience it.
some of my London friends, though, I feel like they're trading almost 24 hours a day because they
Yeah, right.
trade London and then they basically trade till the RTH close, or they're at least engaged around the charts. So that's a long day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, sometimes I think about that when when Kane's wrapping up his show.
Because Kane does it. Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you've probably been up for a long time, dude. But I also don't think I'd want to trade it like in the evening. Yeah, I don't know. I think about this way too much.
We
Just
spent
like
a lot of
what's it like
brain
to
cells
trade?
on this.
What's it like to trade in some other time zone? What's it like? I think about that all the time. I've thought about Hawaii. That could be an interesting time zone to trade.
Yeah, I haven't been back in years, not since I lived in California, because that's a much easier flight if you live on the West Coast. Now that's like the same distance as if I'm gonna fly to Europe out of good old DFW here. So, and God knows for you, that's like you're flying like halfway around the world from
Yes.
the East
Yeah.
Coast if you wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. No, anytime anybody's ever brought that trip up to me, like my wife's like, we should go to Hawaii. I'm like, dude, it's like 15 hours in a plane. You want to do this? I get claustrophobic in the car, like on the way to Target, which is 10 minutes away. I don't know. I don't know if I can hang. I'm going to need to have those, like, they like pull the thing away and it's like a little hotel room in there for you.
Mhm.
So I'm going to need,
Do it in a sleeper cabin, and you're
yeah,
all for it.
yeah, I'm going to need a few more clams in my life first. We're
Yep.
going to have to, this switch to minis is going to have to pay off, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would like to go back. That sounds like it'd be a fun trip again. It's been a few years.
I'm not a big beach guy, but I would be down to hang out with some volcanoes for a little bit, for sure.
I mean, every island's a little different, and you can kind of get different things. Like Kona's feels more like a larger place than some
Okay.
of the islands that are just beach cities. Like
Uh-huh.
if you're in Maui or Kauai, especially, that could understand that would feel like very, very small, and all you're doing is sitting at the beach and hiking or whatever. But yeah, Kona's are pretty good. Like there's so much to do there.
Okay. Khan says if I lived in Dubai, I could do London and New York at the same, and that's a nice window.
Hmm.
Dubai seems a little hot for me,
Just a
Khan.
tad. Yeah,
Seem out.
I'm definitely a beach guy though, but I also grew up in Southern California.
My sunscreen budget would have to double at least. I'm already. I mean, I live in like one of the least sunny places in America, and I'm a SPF 50 guy. Like to leave the house, so I don't know if I can survive Dubai. Mark, I don't need cheap gas. I have a 2010 Toyota Prius. I've talked about this a bunch of times. I fill that thing up twice a year.
It is funny though, since not working a real 9 to 5, even my truck, I feel like I fill it up every month if I go to Costco, and that's about it.
Yep. Yep.
I do not, apparently I don't leave my house enough. And if I do, it's to like go get groceries and run some errands, which is not that far. Take away that commute. Suddenly you don't need gas every day.
No, friend Tintin, I do use the 80 SPF if I'm going to be in direct sunlight for sure. Actually, that's not true. Somebody told me that like anything over 50 is a lie. It's something like that. Like it's just marketing after a certain level of SPF because you can't out sun the sun at a point. I forget what the threshold is.
All of this conversation that has nothing to do with the markets, and we still have not moved, folks. If you're wondering why we are talking about trips to Hawaii, gasoline, that is not the actual RBOB, then yeah, it's because we really are stuck in a 2 to 4 point range on the ES, and Q is stuck in a 10-point range. Riveting television. I applaud you all for being here with Stowe and I this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Exactly.
You guys are watching the market too.
SPF is like RBOL. Nobody knows what it's anyway.
And since Leo hasn't chimed in to correct us, I know he's just somewhere just clawing his eyes out, still thinking about me and XY butchering that.
I'm just waiting for him to just come in hot in the chat.
Hey, Brian, good to see you. We were waiting for you, bud.
And while we have a moment for this lovely break that is Power Hour in the markets, please do feel free to hit like and subscribe on this channel. Show us you appreciate us hanging out here this afternoon, and show your support for the stream and everybody else behind the scenes that are making this possible.
You should definitely hit subscribe.
Yes.
Definitely do that part. And then do the like part right after that, in that order. Ooh, this is gross.
This is terrible. 93s. Still stuck. Look at our fancy new overlay graphics too, Stowe.
Ooh. That's cool. I hope we get one of those. I hope we get the gym alert today together. I got one earlier on the. It's such a pleasant tone. It's just like. Ring.
No, we got one yesterday afternoon. It was great.
I have been watching it. I assume Jim's going to start doing fake ones to mess with us. That's what I would be doing with it. That's why they didn't give me an alert.
Everyone needs an alert for when I get stopped out. Just to alert everybody of the signal.
We got to figure out how to camouflage our stop loss alpha from XY, to be honest.
I mean, I just historically have just worn camo on screen. Usually helps. Market makers can't see your stop if you wear a camo on screen.
I'll get some camo. That's a good option. I don't think I have any camo anything.
XY hates this one trick. So I have so much camo. I can send you something.
Okay.
Except in the Northeast, you don't have any.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I don't do any hunting or anything.
That's probably fair then.
I did hunt when I was a kid. I killed a squirrel. It was like one of the worst days of my life. So like I'm good on that. But I did enjoy I really like to do skeet shooting. So I did get into that. I had a really cool shotgun. I still have it. But yeah, the animal part, that was not for me.
No, that's fair.
And my uncle was like, and you have to eat it. And I was like, I know, I'm going to eat it, Mr. Squirrel.
Well, my lovely failed bird dog golden retrievers decided to also join you in the squirrel club like 2 weeks ago. I think I sent you that video.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
But he was so proud of himself. Just sitting there wagging his tail.
G, this is Delta Map is the name of that indicator that colors the candles, and it also does the stars and those little bubbles too, those gradient bubbles.
Is my screen frozen? No, yes, just it's not moving. We're still in the same trade, y'all.
I still like what you're up to. It still looks good. It still looks droopy, and NQ is pushing down. So
now it looks like we may get a little move here.
all right, Con, the singles are almost filled.
Benton 10, I do both, but I cannot pull a bow. Because of my shoulder issues is what I've learned. I'd have contributed to making it worse, so I'm probably no longer gonna even attempt that unless I use like a child weighted one. Probably
That's
something
interesting.
under 40 pounds. It's too much, I think, on the labrum and your rotator cuff. It just does not work well anymore.
Maybe that was low enough.
Don't say that.
Maybe.
It is hashtag fade your friends here on Trade the Close.
Betrayal.
That freaking thing.
Name that game.
That if any of you are wearing headphones while you watch this stream, which I hope that you're not, but if you are, when that soundbite comes in,
that's a good one.
Seriously, it's in like Dolby.
Yep. It's let's see if anyone knows. You can age yourself in the chat by telling us what game that's from. Because only millennials will know. Didn't realize.
Dane asks, how would you guys describe a good high or low? Typically they have excess, so nice. Hold on, edge alert.
There it is.
Ooh, I love it. See, now that's a pleasant sound, unlike that betrayal sound. That's a nice, pleasant sound. Russell 2000 futures dominating stock index performance up 1.37%, trading at high of the day right now.
I feel like the rusty leading should like not be allowed.
It just means that something bad's about to happen.
Just bidding unprofitable companies.
It's the trap. It's the trap door. Yeah. Good high or low. Just has some excess, and you can look at it on a TPO chart if you're trying to do like a market profile thing, or I don't know. We probably have I would hope we have a decent low down here that you could look at. It's just you're gonna see like a spike down, a wick. Yeah, it's not that great of a low.
No, we did not spend much time down.
It's tough to make a good low on a day that's moving this slow because you don't really get like that snap reaction, but you're just looking for a volume taper on the top or bottom of the profile. If you have both, that's working on being a really balanced day. If you have one on one or the other sides, that's just going to be, it's just something that shows like quick rejection or, just like the market didn't want to be there. So you'll just see like a thin line of volume. And that is my elaborate explanation of a volume taper. You're welcome. Tracy, what do I have to do to get on some sort of random committee like that? Can you call somebody for me? Maybe if I get these trading cards going, that's my foot in the door to weird committee land. I'll make friends with the Fed people, and then maybe they can slide my name over too. You're not an important committee. I don't want anything super serious, but maybe just something like I don't know, something geological maybe could be fun. Tracy's just laughing at me. I'm never going to get on this committee. Nobody takes my committee concerns seriously anymore, Nick.
I mean, I feel like you'd be the perfect person to sit on one of these committees.
Maybe there's one for like is there something for mining that like maybe I can do like some sort of rocks. I don't need precious metals. We could
I mean,
do rocks.
isn't there a lot of, or am I thinking like West Virginia? Doesn't Pennsylvania have a lot of that kind
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
industrial?
So southwestern PA and West Virginia, it's all the same thing.
Yeah,
All that Appalachia stuff. There's tons of coal.
there's
Coal
probably a
country
committee we
down
could
there.
throw you on there.
Coal committee?
Something.
I don't know. I might be a little soft for a coal committee, dude. You don't know these dudes.
That's probably fair.
I don't think I'd make it long in the coal committee.
See, this is where you need the soundbite from Zoolander. Just like I think I got the black lung pop.
Yep. On the plus side, I could start chewing tobacco again. That would be sick. I miss that from high school quite a bit.
Oh gosh, what a time!
I shouldn't have said that. My kid's gonna watch this in the future and be like, "You said you didn't do that." I'll be like, "Well, your parents lie, kid. That's part of it."
I used to work for Big Tobacco for my first year out of college.
That's cool.
They paid a 22-year-old kid very well, so I took that job with both hands.
Not a skull guy, Aaron. Not a skull guy. Guess again. Hey, Chris. Chris asked, "Hey, Stowe, why'd you take that long, please? I saw a lot of bid pulling, I think, just before it rotated back up. Was it related to that?" No, it was not. I did not see any bid pulling. What I did see was this node. Somebody asked if I cared about volume nodes, and this is what I wanted to see come back down in here. Also looking for this to retest. It didn't quite get low enough. I mean, when price is moving this slow, you have to also kind of realize that it's not always going to go to your perfect spot. But I saw a bid come in after this little spike down into this previous passive seller that was here. So just took my shot there. It should also be noted that I did take 2 5-point stops up in here when I was accidentally on the wrong account. So yeah, so there's that too.
These jokers.
Yeah, I was. Wait, you getting spiked? I just saw that.
That spike was nasty.
Okay.
I'm still in, but like I said, if they make a new high on after that move down, I would assume we're going to continue to have more stupidity into the M period. So I'll get out of this.
Oh yeah, no problem, Chris. Job close, not a wintergreen, but a big Grizzly fan. Yeah, I didn't mean to be sneaky long. But unfortunately, this isn't an accurate description of my trades I tried to take in here, because I did try this long and took a 5-point stop, and then I also was long in here for a second and just scratched out. So it's my bad. I was trying to change a bunch of stuff on my charts today, and I switched in and out of sim in order to do that. Just so you know, I didn't make any dumb mistakes. Because pro tip, if you're ever going to mess around and with your charts, just go ahead and switch to sim before you do that. It's never been a bad thing. No, I've been off that.
That's so perfect. So
that was so good.
So we went full circle on our Stowe joining a mining or coal whatever committee. I'm now blanking on the joke, but
yeah, I
thank
forget
you
too.
to our friends behind the scenes. That was
Yes,
that was perfect.
Oh, Jim says I can be on the National Institute of Nachos. Actually, I would be very good at that committee. I am extremely qualified.
I can throw my own hat in there too.
Yep. Yes. Oh man, we would all be good at that.
I make nachos probably once a year, and it's always on the Super Bowl, and I always wonder why I don't make that more often.
You do. I mean, I'm sure you do like brisket nachos and stuff too, since you're a meat smoking guy, right?
Yeah, I have been using the leftover brisket for a couple different things. I did a stroganoff,
Okay.
not the most recent brisket, but a few briskets ago. That was pretty good.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I made fried rice out of it. Kind of used
Okay.
a Korean barbecue sauce to kind of
Oh, man, that
rehydrate
sounds
it and
good
mix
too.
that in. Actually, it was really, really good.
Ooh, that sounds great.
So
Stroganoff, though.
couple ideas for you smokers out there. If you've got a good 5 pounds of brisket left, things you can do.
Stroganoff's like my top maybe three favorite foods.
It was
I can't eat that in the summertime though. That's insane.
I would make it again. I would just probably use a different wine. It was a little it still was just a little bitter. I was trying to get that out of it, but still good.
See, I don't use wine. I just use beef broth.
I mean, that could be helpful too.
I'm always putting wine and stuff like cooking. I also don't like. I'm not very good at drinking wine. I don't know what the hell it is, or I can't tell good wine from bad wine. Like if you took boxed wine and put it in a bottle, I would still be like, oh, this is great. But same with every time I cook with it, I'm like, this tastes weird. So I just stopped doing that. That's true. You should do a Sunday smoke. You should do like a Sunday marathon smoke all night show, Nick. That would be sick.
I mean, we would have to do a collaboration then. You making the bread for our Sunday feast while I am smoking some variety of meat.
That sounds good.
Could do
Hey,
that.
I got that stupid camera or tripod thing.
I will be doing live market prep in front of the smoker. That so is making us some sandwich, some bread, or some brisket sandwiches or something that we're going to make. The collab the internet did not know the trading community needed. And yes, once again, we are talking about cooking and all this because we are still stuck. In fact, I have not stopped out of this trade. I have not even had it move against me. So, yeah, not a lot has happened.
Honestly, your entry is really impressive based on what I mean. You got in there now almost an hour ago.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so fun.
Swing trading the close with Nick. That's what it feels like. I don't take hour-long trades, guys. That's why I trade. This is exactly why I trade initial balance and then try to be done. I don't have to sit in a trade for an hour for
enter
3 points.
Enter the trader. That sounds like an Always Sunny episode. Did that really happen? Because I'm pretty sure that's an Always Sunny episode. Where they try to come up with the new Goldschlager. And that's when Charlie that's when Charlie makes nickel schlager. He eats all the nickels. Colin, you want me to take this profit? What if it goes higher? Talk me out of this. What do you see about this high that makes you feel like the high is in right now? I'll give you one chance. You can have 2 comments because I know they limit your text. So if you need to really pitch it to me, you can have 2 full YouTube comments worth.
If I cover this trade for a few points in profit, I can guarantee you the high is in of the day.
Keep holding, Nick. All right, here's 330. There's the turn.
Sellers attempting again.
Yeah, I don't look at yeah, I don't look at that like that, Con. I would consider that the sellers were not rewarded in any way for that pullback that they tried to orchestrate.
No. I mean, they really got nothing for it.
You don't like hot potatoes, Enter the Trader? I love hot potatoes. Send them all over to me. Big fan. I should tuck this under here, though. That is, I don't want to be. I'm just goofing around, but we'll pull that up there. I don't look at CVD, Con. I don't look at that, bud. But fair.
Oh my gosh, can we move?
This radio station is terrible. It just went from Red Hot Chili Peppers to Smashing Pumpkins. I can't handle that kind of shift.
What do you have, like Spotify or something?
Yeah. I think it has shifted into Third Eye Blind radio somehow. I don't know how I got there from my sad boy country songs that it started at. Yes, it is Third Eye Blind radio. That explains why we're getting weird. Sometimes my wife will be driving home from work and it'll change, and it always switches to something completely insane. All of a sudden, like the loudest Chaperone song ever will pop on in my headphones. I'll be like, "Oh, the girls are jamming again."
My wife had to get a kids radio station on Spotify with all of the lovely nursery rhymes, and yeah, that's
Okay.
a fun drive now.
Okay, so you're getting into that territory. Yes, that's a very rough 3 or 4 years.
It's the only thing that soothes on some of those terrible drives home from wherever we are. Suddenly the crying stops, so the music gets louder, and that's fine.
My parenting alpha as a music fan for you is that there is a band called Casper Baby Pants. It's just one guy, and it's spelled weird. It's like CASPAR, but it is the singer of the band The Presidents of the United States of America, who you probably remember from the 90s and with like Lump, Kitty, the grunge band. You familiar with this band, Nick?
No.
You don't know the Presidents of the United States of America?
This
Lump
is
sat alone on a bench in the park?
No.
Beaches, volcano. Thank you, chat.
So the chat's with you.
Okay, Nick's not with me. Well, Nick, you've heard these songs in your
I'm sure
life.
I have. It's just the
Okay.
name's not sticking out to me.
Anyways, this guy's great because he writes kids songs that don't suck, but kids also really love them. He's got a billion of them, and they're amazing. They're super funny. My personal favorite is a song called "When a Penguin Moves to California." But yeah, go ahead, dig into this. It's called Casper Baby Pants, and it will make your life a lot less miserable than having to listen to Cocomelon for the next 4 years, which you're still going to have to do, but at least you could get.
We had Old MacDonald on a loop the other day. It was rough. But then she's in my truck just with me, and like something like Boot Scoot and Boogie comes on, and she is ecstatic. It was hilarious, and she's like nodding her head like this. It was great. She
Oh,
fully
it's so
fully
cool.
understands the music now. It's great.
It's so cool once they get bigger and they can start telling you why they don't like stuff. That's my favorite because I'll try to get her into new stuff. And I think yesterday, I was like, I'm gonna try to make my kid listen to New Wave and see what happens. So I was putting on like Joy Division and New Order and all this old deep cut new wave stuff, and she dug some of it, and some of it she's like, Dad, this sucks. Fair enough, man. That's true,
Question is,
Damon. Yes, They Might Be Giants also did a kids album that does not suck.
is one of us or both of us going to flatten before the cane algo?
Hey, Corey, what's up, man? Yeah, he is from Washington. Also, Bremerton, Washington, famous for the band MXPX.
I can't believe I've been in this trade for as long as I have.
You've been in it the whole time.
The entire time. A life lesson in why I do not trade power right here.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
I mean, you guys just killed behind the scenes. I gotta say,
You got to give it up for the production staff. I mean, of all the Always Sunny jokes too, the egg is, I mean, you guys didn't know that's one of my favorite ones, but that's one of my favorite ones. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? Mark, my POC is still down here on the session at 6:05. So I'm not up here at 670 yet. But
yeah, mine. Well, ES has shifted up, but
You're up there?
yeah,
Oh,
it's still
okay.
down there.
Okay.
It's probably why we can't move. We also can't move because we don't have enough likes, y'all.
Where are we at?
We are at 141 with 530 people right here watching this stream. And as you guys know, Jim does not let us
Decent.
leave less than
Decent.
200 likes.
You guys ain't going nowhere.
That's still my favorite soundbite.
Raffy's also good. I like Raffy a lot. You listen to Raffy at all? Nick, do you need me to make you a kids playlist? I'll do it.
It's a kids thing. No, I said this is I don't make these playlists. I just have the pleasure of driving as my wife will put these
Okay.
random songs on now.
Okay. I will make you a playlist called Kids Songs That Don't Suck.
Please do.
Yep.
Because I can't do it anymore.
Friend Tin Tin Banana Phone. That's exactly right. Yes. Yeah, Banana Phone's a great song.
Can we get one more flush under 90, please? I want to just cover this trade.
Rich, I will listen to that Dixon Dallas song. I can't, it's a little too much for me to change it while I'm trading and doing the stream, but I did write that down from earlier.
An end of day liquidation would be encouraging.
Get a load of this guy.
That's what I'm going to start saying.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It is. I'm going to say a liquidation would be encouraging. The amount of times yesterday, I think that XY and I were saying a new high would be encouraging. I'm shocked they never got you on that one. They never clipped it.
They don't need to. I say it every stream.
I know, but when you're not on stream and we're calling for new highs,
All right. Oh, Veggie Tales. That's a throwback. RC Crawford says, good afternoon. Who should we hit like for? You appear to be fading each other. I do not know who to pull for. Well,
It's fair.
RC Crawford, 1030. Fair point. Well, honestly, neither of us are going to win, so.
Probably not. Everybody's going to lose out of this. Because it's playing into probably two of our styles, which is Nick loves to fade a high, Stowe loves to buy a high.
Yep.
So
here we are. I did scale 1 at 12 points. So I do have, and then I've got 9. Yeah, I got a stop loss for 9 points here. So I at least have 3 points in the bag. Not trying to brag, but the people love to short. Oh, thank you, Crawford. Appreciate you hitting the like anyway.
I was here an hour ago and it's the same position. Yes.
Yes, us too.
You did not hit pause on your stream. This is live. We are 10 minutes away from the MOC algo and we have not moved. My position has not changed. It is the exact same one I've been in the entire session.
Nitin, I don't know when brokers put the additional margin requirement on. I don't think that it is until like 45 minutes after the cash close. I don't think they put it on for the mock algo. I mean, it depends on your broker, but
yeah, I was going to say that's very much going to depend on them, but yeah, I feel like most don't.
None that I've ever used. The 3 that I've ever used didn't.
When I first started trading though, and they give you that like 15-minute warning, I thought that was like 2:45 Central Time. So I never loved trading at this time anyway, but I would always, if I was in a trade, I'd always exit thinking they were going to auto liquidate me if I didn't anyway.
Right.
Because I didn't have the margin to support the few minis that I was probably trading at that time.
Man, if they roll over down like into that LVN, Nick, that would be so sick.
It would be nice. I kept waiting for. I mean, I feel like the last 3 sessions I've been looking for this same end of day potential rotation back through value, and it just hasn't come yet.
Yeah. Well, I think we've only touched VWAP once today. Yep, there it was. We haven't touched VWAP since 11:30.
Yep. Oh, that's the leg. Gosh, that's the current leg of this entire move
Right?
on NinjaTrader that I was looking at 636. I thought that was the RTH VWAP. No, the RTH VWAP is way lower on inside 600s.
Yeah,
My
595.
goodness.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of. That's a lot at 43. 43 at 650.
Somebody just slapped the ask there.
Yes, they did. It's getting spicy.
Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna rip down here.
I'd just like to see us back inside the mid 80s. Let me get another one of these off. NQ looking a little precarious here.
Good Lord. It's just so much there's just so much bid stacked.
I know.
I mean, it's like that's probably the thickest book I've seen in at least all month. It's also possible it's just slow enough that I'm finally seeing it. Gary's rooting for unchanged, Nick. So
That would be wild, but also not shocking. Given it just seems like anyone with little size could just tip this either direction.
Tracy says, heads up, Trump is on at 4 p.m. for the big, beautiful event to push Senate Republicans to pass the tax bill.
So right at the bell.
I feel like the question, what should we call it, is the second question that has ever existed whenever this dude does anything. It's like, all right, what do we call it, though? I have an idea. Let's call it the big, beautiful event. What do you guys think? Great.
Like Liberation Day. How long was
Yeah,
the name
like
R&D?
Liberation Day.
That was great. God.
Liberation Day sounded legitimately like it came out of the Hunger Games. That's what that sounds like to me.
I literally thought it was like a real thing, not this random speech after the bell that Trump was apparently giving about tariffs. I literally thought it was something because people were talking and using the term Liberation Day that entire session, and I was confused. I was like, "Oh, cool! It's something, I guess, some new thing or whatever today." I had no
it
idea.
wasn't even that good of a day.
The market was liberated to the downside in the after
Right?
hours.
And then he didn't name good time to buy Candle Day.
No, I
but
think we
did.
coined it on the show.
Yes, good time to buy Candle Day.
Like
was
anyone
the
else
best day.
using that out there in the streaming space, I'm pretty sure we said it here first. Because you and I were on stream when it happened. Stowe's long and 10% up already.
That was cool. That was a fun day.
Insane day.
It's definitely fun to buy the high all the time, but it's even more fun to buy the high after an insane rip like that. And then when it works, you're like, chef's kiss.
Apparently, there's just something in my body that does not let me buy a market to the upside when it's already up 10%.
It's pretty stupid to do it. That's why most people can't do it. You have to really embrace the stupidity of that execution.
I mean, I learned that when it was, I think it was November 22 CPI. We were up like 4%, and I kept trying to short it, and it just continued to go. So I learned a valuable lesson about trading that day.
All right, come on. What was that? Final push down?
What do you think? Are you going to hold this into the algo?
Well, I've held it for 9,000 years. What's another 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's fair.
My stop's in a really crummy place. But I did like that spike down. Maybe I should go look at ES.
I don't love this. Pushing back into the 90s again. They just continue to have trouble, though, with this like 93, 94s area.
Oh, sure. No problem, Mark. Yeah, I try to, I try to be as ill-informed as humanly possible. It really works for me. And I'm not being sarcastic.
No, there really is some logic to just smooth braining the market, and just it's probably going to outperform somebody that thinks they're the smartest person in the room.
There's not even any size chilling up there at 6,200. Like, no excitement. No, $900, $700.
Chill guy. Yeah. Smooth brain as in the caveman trade. Well, we got 45 seconds until our lovely friend across the pond tells us what time it is.
He said that like in real life on Wednesday for his stream, and it was like he was so He did the best impression of himself that was humanly possible. It was crazy. I was like, whoa, how'd you say that exactly the same? But he did.
If I said it 10 times, I'd probably say it 10 different ways. Probably sound different every time.
Attention traders, it's algo time.
All right.
Thanks, Kane.
Show me what you got.
And flipped.
Even the algo is sleepy.
Yeah, we need to unplug it and plug it back in again.
That was 12
Show
points.
me what you got.
Yeah, Shreddy, even the algo's in the Hamptons.
It's true.
You're not
It's
wrong.
true. Yeah. When you're getting pumped about a 12-point algo wiggle, you know it's June.
I mean, we came all the way back to my entry, finally. If we make a new high, it is what it is at this point.
And Q's working on one. Come on.
ES is going to do it. They're going to take my stop, pay stow. Because it looked like the opposite was going to happen for the last hour.
Somebody yell at me when ES hits 6,200. That's what I'll get out of this thing. I guess I could just look at that. It's quite rude of them to steal this from Friday, though. Especially before, we're coming up on the 4th. America's birthday.
Yep. It's almost un-American to not hit an all-time high on July 3rd.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, little stop, survive. Nope.
Not quite a new high. And Q might have tapped one.
There it is. Yes, new high. I think all said and done, I just was basically break even on the trade. Since I had one that was in profit.
Yep.
For a good 9 point.
Two hours later,
point
nobody
stop.
wins.
Nobody won. See, no one.
0 turkeys up there at 6,200 trying to party. None.
Yeah, there really is. Like, there's nobody trying to offer up there.
Yeah, they normally put they usually send some dumb idiot up there. Let's see if there's some ice in front of it. Ah, okay. So they're filling out some ice in front of it. Oh, there he is.
Now they're okay. 98s. Yep. It's like a 600 lot just came in.
He got half of it filled as an iceberg. And then just drop the rest of that limit down.
Oh, he's just reloading too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is this definitely. He's just saying, here, have as much as you want. Oh, he pulled.
Yeah. And then he pulled the actual limit. All right, I'm gonna get out. Cool. That was a good couple points there. 88, 60, 58. I got 30 points.
Nice trade, sir.
Thank you.
It took the entire hour to get the range expansion for 30 points, but that worked out.
Captain Llama, I did switch to minis, and it's going pretty good.
I literally can't believe that was basically a scratch trade after all that.
That was insane.
Oh, gosh.
Your good entry saved you on that.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And then me pulling my stop back a little bit after taking the one off.
Now I want to see what happens with this 61.98.
I'm gonna punch this.
I see an iceberg like that, and then I see that big ad and then that big pull. I don't I don't like to still belong into that. I know that is not necessarily a bearish sign, but I've seen that be the sign of, okay, I'm all filled up. I'm good. Yep. See, and then
There
they
you go.
just step on it from there. Yeah. So that was a
Good cover.
good exit. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you can use ES sometimes to trade NQ. Nice.
I mean, just look at the weekly structure.
Dude, that was that was nasty business up there at 98 what that guy did.
It was.
He just pulled 5 points out of that. That's cool. Yeah, Captain Llama, it's going good. I'll show my stats. I traded Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I feel like I have something to do tomorrow, so I can't trade tomorrow. I don't remember. I have to do maybe like the kid has to do something.
I have to go to Costco.
Yeah. Better Friday than Sunday, my friend.
I usually go at like Tuesday afternoons, like
Yes.
at like 1 o'clock or something.
Yes, amen. That is
very few people there.
That's why we trade, folks, so we can go to Costco at 2 in the afternoon. Because honestly, it's worth every penny.
It is. I'm like trying not to go buy a bunch of meat because I have a half steer coming.
Ooh.
Just waiting for it. And it has like it's like 2 brisket, or well, actually, I guess it's 1 giant brisket, but like just so much meat. I'm gonna end up giving away a ton.
That's awesome.
Yeah, grass.
Yeah, Colin,
this
is a Delta volume profile, the red and the blue, and that is an OrderFlow Labs study. All right. Let's see them yeet this 98 guy into the sun now.
They're going to do it. Come on.
Now they crossed above him.
Are they going to try to punch this to 202s?
No, Dreamland, we're not on Fridays, but the Ninja Show is on Fridays still. There you go, everybody. 6,200. ES. Enjoy.
Every time we make a move like that, I have to post like the Forrest Gump Lieutenant Dan on New Year's Eve with the confetti, because that's how it feels sometimes. Unless you're long like Stowe was. But it's like another new all-time high after a day like this where we're just drifting upwards. That's how it feels.
I prefer the meme of the babe, stop spending all our money on puts. The market's
Double
at an
top.
all-time high. Double top.
That one is my favorite. SPX is 3 points from an all-time high. Yeah, 6150s probably will do it. See if they want it.
Yeah, the Friday show is normally pretty good. 8 to 12. PAX is always on Fridays. Capital Preservation Friday. PAX always comes on in the morning and talks to Jim. Tracy, do you have any special guests tomorrow? There's Jim. Jim will help me.
We have a very special guest tomorrow.
Who we got?
So Catherine Yoshimoto.
Oh, okay.
And she's the director of product management at FTSE Russell.
What?
Director of product management at FTSE Russell.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, she's gonna tell us about the Russell goes through a reconstruction every once in a while.
Okay.
And they change, who's in the Russell indexes and who isn't.
Yeah.
And she's gonna walk us through that process. It's actually pretty fascinating, and it does kind of matter sometimes. So,
dude, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's going to be there. And then, all right, first of all, it's me and Shai to start. I mean, come on. You can't get too much better than that. And
I mean, I try to worm my way onto the Friday show. I love the Friday show.
I'm covering a Friday show in a couple weeks.
See, there you go.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got PAX, of course.
Yep. PAX is Friday. Sarah Strat Sniper on Friday.
Sarah Strat Sniper for sure. That's going to be awesome. And me and Chai, I think that's it. Yeah. So I'm looking for. I've never met Catherine, but supposedly I mean, she's awesome. I see her on social media.
Are they gonna just liquidate this into the
I don't
belt?
know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting. This close is getting spicy.
I was just waiting to see, but I mean, we took my stop and didn't go that much further.
161 lots traded at 6,200. That's it.
I tried to give you guys a hint with my alert.
Oh, for the Russell guest.
Russell leading.
Well, no. I was thinking the ES and the NQ, they were a little bit slower out of the blocks to get that last surge up.
Yeah.
And when I saw the Russell do that, I'm like, all right, maybe everyone's going to join on this one.
I did buy the top today. I did get rewarded today, so that's good.
And I could have exited in profit, took the scratch. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough trading on a low volume day when you're going into power hour, we're at the highs.
Yeah, you're either buying the high or shorting the top, which is probably both.
I
very
know.
difficult trades.
I know.
That was a lot of ice up there.
It really was.
199, 99.50, still a bunch.
Anyway, well, great
Cool.
job, man.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thanks,
Jim.
Jim.
Thank you, chat. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I had a fun day. You got anything
Awesome.
going on this weekend, Jim? Anything fun?
No,
Okay.
but I got to tell you though, we used to, when we had kids living in our house, or our kids living in our house, we would often get the half a cow. We drive down to a farm. We got a whole bunch of giant igloo coolers. Put them in the car, drive down to a farm, pick it up. It was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fuck
it'd be
you,
like
yeah.
Santa Claus with ground beef for neighbors and friends, dropping off meat.
Yeah. So anyway, well, congratulations on that. Anyway, great job. So I won't see you guys again until next week, I think.
Yep. Is it
Mhm.
Nick, you on Sunday?
I will be back on Sunday.
Oh, that's right, everybody. Remember, Nick for a Tick, Sunday, 5:45 East Coast time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm gonna go. He'll set us up for the week, man. So hopefully we'll see you Sunday night. Anyway, have a great weekend, fellas. And I do want to thank everybody who is in the chat. You guys were all awesome, as usual. And remember, most important message of the day as we close this thing out, please be safe out there and be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
Thanks, chat.
See you guys.